Welcome to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Wes the Economist and Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist, coming to you live from the Wave Beach Realty Studios in North Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Call us today at 843-957-3872.
Happy New Year, and as we get the year started, let's get your financial picture in focus by getting a budget and getting those spending habits looked at. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com and we'll get you off to a good start.
Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
This segment brought to you by Eisenhower Dental. Reach out to them at 843-234-3110.
All right, guys, welcome back into another episode of
Episode 26, Season 2, Episode 26.
The Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Well, today we're not talking about conspiracy theories, economy, politics. Talking about
football, which we've never done before.
We have never talked about football. You actually have an NC State jacket on right now.
You heard about our game, didn't you?
Yeah. yeah. If
you don't know the bad blood between ECU and NC State, this is nothing new.
Yeah, no, nothing new.
We actually had to stop playing each other for like a decade because of I think ECU took down our field goals when they beat us in Carter Finley. And so it's always been bad blood.
Yeah.
Actually, I've tried to watch what happened several times because I was in New Zealand when it happened. And somebody send me a comment or send me a link so I can actually see. Because what I saw was this guy was blocking NC State guy was blocking an ECU guy. And he pushes him down after the play. Should have been a flag. I can admit that. But I swear it looks like he's trying to turn him over to help him up because he feel like he did wrong. But as soon as he reached down to try to flip him, the ECU guy just takes him out hard, and then it all breaks loose.
Yep. Yeah, it happens. I mean, college football, people take that seriously. There's no games in college football, but
that flag planting before I left was a big thing.
Yeah,
because NC State and UNC got into a big fight.
Yes,
because we were trying to plant it on UNC.
Yes,
and y'all got kind of upset.
Get that crap out of here. Yeah. We got old Bill Belichick now in UNC, buddy.
Did you see Ohio? The Congress. State legislature guy in Ohio was trying to pass a law to make it illegal to plant the flag on the opposition's.
Really?
That's like, come on, guys.
Oh yeah, you got to have a little thicker skin than that. Come on now.
So, what is it with Belichick coming to UNC?
His dad was an assistant coach there in the 50s, and so I guess
I didn't know that.
So they offered him the job. Obviously, he was not in the NFL. I mean, he was sitting around with his 20-year-old girlfriend, probably a little bored and wanting to coach still.
That.
And
what is up with that?
I don't know. I'm not asking questions. But yeah, Chapel Bill is in full effect. We'll see. I mean, he was a great NFL coach. You know, he had Tom Brady and everything else around him. But I'm excited to see what he can do in the college. I mean, UNC has never been a great football team, so I'm hoping that maybe he can make some changes and we get some transfers in the transfer portal. We can get some good recruits. So I'm optimistic that maybe UNC can have a decent team in the next couple of years. We'll see what happens, but
it's kind of shocked because somebody said he's just setting up his son for the head coaching position.
Well, that's what he's doing too, but I don't think it's just that. I think he definitely wants to. I definitely think he wants to coach there and kind of follow in his father's footsteps, who was the assistant coach there, and I think that probably has some kind of sentimental value to him.
I didn't know that,
So I think it's a mix of a few things, but I'm excited for it. As a Tar Heel fan, it's anything's better than what we've been doing.
Yeah,
it was time for.
I wish NC State could get somebody like that. I don't think our guy's going anywhere there. It seems like every time we're about to get rid of him, he does something good. Like we keep him. Mm-hmm. Same thing with our basketball coach. Our basketball coach was at UNC Wilmington, which I graduated from too. He did great at UNC Wilmington, but he's just not an ACC coach.
Yeah.
But as soon as we think he's going to be gone, he makes a run to Final Four. So
there you go. Yep, that's how it happens. Then he's not going anywhere.
So, but it's been a very interesting from what I saw when I got back, and then when I watched since I got back, it's been pretty interesting ball games. But
There's been
still
some
a
good
lot of
games.
controversy.
Yeah, there's been a lot of controversy. I think the best game I saw was that Texas Arizona State game.
Oh,
That
it was
game
good.
was wild.
That was last week.
Yeah, the double overtime. I really was pulling for Arizona State to
I
pull
was
that
too.
one off. I really thought they were going to make it happen.
So, was it targeting or not? Talk about the controversy.
I mean, if that you're talking about the no call.
Yeah, the no call. I mean, I'll be honest
Technically-
with you. I hate.
I don't think there should be a targeting. The way they define it, I don't like.
Well, that's just it. Targeting to me, I'm okay with targeting, but everything I've seen called in the college game for the last 2 or 3 years is if it's helmet to helmet,
Yeah.
it's targeting.
Right.
I've disagreed with it.
Yeah.
So, but then you come down to a call like that, it's like, okay, well, that's textbook. And everybody's trying to
Based off-
explain it's not textbook. He didn't lead with his crown.
Right.
I don't care. It was still a defensive guy.
Yep.
And they've been calling it consistently for 2 3 years.
I know. They've got. If you either got to be consistent or get rid of the rule. That's
or
it.
give it to the umpire the right to decide.
Yeah.
I'm good with that.
Yeah, that's
'Cause
fine too.
If that call had been made based on the lead referee's judgment, because I would agree it wasn't intentional, it was just, it happened.
Right.
But that's not how they've been calling it.
Yeah.
So that's not fair to Arizona State.
No, I agree. I
And they
agree.
still may have lost because, they didn't have a kicker.
Right.
So they would have got very close to actually win it.
Exactly. Yeah.
And somebody said Carmer came back pretty quickly on Texas because they missed that second field goal.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they missed 2 in a row, I believe.
Yeah, it was.
And they could have won it. Yeah, it was crazy. I mean, it was just a crazy game. That was a good game. What else was there? Ohio State beat the brakes off of Oregon.
Oh, my gracious. Did you see that? Did you see any of it?
That was I mean, it wasn't much of a game. I mean, I know Oregon put up some trash points at the end and ended up scoring 21, but
Right. Oh, it was never,
it was
never in doubt.
it was a beat down for 4 quarters.
But Ohio State tore Tennessee up
yeah.
42-17. I didn't
Yeah.
see that game, but it must have been
Yeah, I saw parts of that one, but yeah, that Ohio State Oregon game, man, they made them look like, like a not even ranked team. I mean, they couldn't do anything. If Ohio State continues to play like they played against Oregon, nobody will stop them.
Well, I was going to say you've got Penn State left, Notre Dame, Texas, and Ohio State.
Yep.
So who's going to win the Notre Dame Penn State game?
That is the most. I think that's the most even matchup you're going to find right there. I don't know. I don't know who's going to win that game. I was trying to see if there was a spread out for it yet. It looks like it's close. Notre Dame is a 1.5 point favorite. It's going to be close. I think Notre Dame does pull that off, but that's going to be a very close game.
And I think they're going to pull it off, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a close game.
I think
Just the way I think on paper, I think it's very close, and Penn State definitely has a chance. But I think at the end of the day, I think Notre Dame's going to pull away with it, more than 10 points.
Think so?
I think. I could be wrong, but
I sense a little friendly bet right there.
But higher in Texas?
I actually think so. Ohio State right now is a 6-point favorite, which is wild since Texas is ranked higher as a 5 seed against an 8 seed. But Ohio State, the way they're playing, is a 6-point favorite. But
I thought we were 8 seed. They're showing a 6, but they were 8 seed. There must be a poll number I'm looking at.
Yeah, maybe. I say Ohio State wins that game. I would say, I say they probably win it by 10. I'd say they probably knock them out by 10. If Texas can hold up with them at all, I'd say they still lose by 10.
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So Ohio versus Penn State, who wins?
Ohio. I just don't
Ohio
see
State,
anybody.
Notre Dame?
If Texas can't beat Ohio State, neither the other two teams can.
Because
I think Texas can
but again,
technically
like you said, all 3 of those are ranked higher than Ohio State.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yep.
So,
I mean, but you're also relying on they make these the people who control these rankings. They base it off strength of schedule, and it's so many factors that go into it.
so many politics go into it.
Yeah, I know. Like there was a lot of people that were upset about Alabama.
I'm not big staying out.
Being out of, there were people that there were people trying to. They shouldn't, in my opinion. No, they had no business.
South Carolina.
Well, they lost their bowl game too. Alabama lost their bowl game, didn't they?
Killed.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Because I think I watched some of that one.
Oh no, they didn't. Okay, so they lost Michigan 19-13. I thought it was worse than that, but Michigan beat them. Unranked Michigan beat them.
Either way, right? That showed right there they had no business being in the playoffs.
I think South Carolina should have been in there, even though South Carolina did lose to Illinois.
I know. There was a good argument to have South Carolina in there.
Yeah.
I will agree, and I'm not a South Carolina fan at all. And I'm not a fan of their fans.
You got the colors on.
Yeah, that's unintentional. That's unintentional.
Now, I was going for Boise State. They got humiliated.
I was going for Boise State. I love that running back. I'm hoping Dallas drafts him. Honestly, that Ashton Jeanty guy, he's a bulldog. So I was rooting for them because I wanted to see how far they could go. But man, they just couldn't make get anything going. And that just, you got to show up at the right time in college football. That's part of it. But,
that's true.
But there's been some good games so far. A couple blowouts, but I think these next 4 games should be pretty.
The first round, there was a lot of complaints during the first round. That's right when I was getting back, because Notre Dame won by 10, Penn State won by 28, Texas won by 14, Ohio State blew Tennessee out. So there was no competitive games in the first round. Everybody was complaining about that.
Right.
But then you got to point out that Indiana lost to Notre Dame by 10, but Notre Dame beat Georgia by 13.
Right. Right. I know.
Of course, now Georgia didn't have the number 1 quarterback.
Right.
I mean, people forget that. I mean, that guy did a great job. What was his name? Stanton? Or,
yeah, I know. Yeah.
But he definitely don't think it's the same team. But Notre Dame did look good. I mean,
Notre Dame was looking great.
They looked really good.
Yeah, like I said, I think they win that game, and then I'm not saying they wouldn't give a headache to Ohio State. I just don't think the way they did that to Oregon.
Smith, the receiver.
Yeah,
he's something else.
Yeah. Ohio's got a special team this year. I'd be shocked if they don't win it all at this point.
Yeah, I would be shocked.
But there were some good games. I'm excited for the final 3 games, because the 2 and then the championship. But
all the other bowls are done, right?
All the other bowls, Carolina lost to UConn. We got beat down by UConn. We're just a joke right now. I just hope Chapel Bill comes in there and makes some stuff happen, because it's tough to watch, man. It is tough to watch. It's been tough to watch my Cowboys this year. It's been tough to watch my Tar Heels. It's just been a rough sports year for me. My fantasy teams all lost in the playoffs.
We'll get into NFL here next, but I was number 1 in my league. I went in as the number 1 seed and got beat by the number 4 seed. That all because I had 2 people. Mixon, I think I had Mixon.
Joe Mixon.
He didn't do well. It's both games, even though he was projected to do bigger. And the Bills quarterback Josh Allen let me down last game.
Yep. So, Josh Allen's notorious for not showing up sometimes.
And then he's only. I'm playing for the 3rd place right now, and I had to take him out of the lineup because he's only predicted to get 5, because sounds like they're planning on resting all their people.
Yeah, well,
he's already got the seed.
Yeah, most leagues that I'm in, we ended the season a week before the actual NFL season, so we can avoid all the people being sat.
Oh, okay.
So we usually do our playoffs and end week 16, not week 17. That's what a lot of leagues do.
Yeah, this is week 18 at this point, isn't it?
Well, week 18. So whatever the second to last week of the actual games are is when we end our season.
I wish we had, because
that's the best way to do it. That's the best way to do it.
In my league, 15 and 16, you played the same for the champion the go to championship.
Yeah.
And then 17, 18, you play the same. The total points for those 2 weeks is what we got.
You do a 2-week playoff system. See, I do 6 teams, 3-week playoff, 6 teams. First and second seed get a first round bye in my league.
So let's switch to NFL and see what's going on there.
Let's do it.
Eisenhower Dental, located at 107 Waccamaw Medical Park Drive in Conway, a place where you can find all your dental services, including general dentistry, cosmetic, restorative, and pediatric dentistry. Reach out to them today at their website, eisenhowerdental.com, or call them at 843-234-3110, 843-234-3110, and tell them Wes the Economist sent you.
Are you looking to buy a property in North or South Carolina and need financing assistance? Give Motto Mortgage Coastal Pros a call today. We specialize in residential loans in both North and South Carolina and can meet all your residential home loan needs. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
If you like the economics part of the show, then check out my podcast, Econ Sense. You can find it on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts.
You're listening to the Dollars and Cents Radio Show with Jonathan Edmond and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to send us your topics and feedback at dollarscentsgs@gmail.com. This segment is sponsored by Bobby Clary State Farm. Call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right.
So I'll have to be honest. I haven't really watched much NFL for the last 8 or 9 years.
Yeah.
I started watching last year because my son got me into a fantasy league.
Yep.
But even then, I didn't know any of the names anymore. And this year, the same thing. I actually got the number 1 draft in my fantasy league just because I went by numbers, just use stats. Ended up having the number 1 draft. Everybody else in the league, I think, was upset because I had so many good players.
Yeah.
Ended up ended first, but like I said, I lost in the first round. But I used to be a huge Miami Dolphin fan.
Okay.
So just like my Wolfpack, nothing to cheer about for a long time.
Yeah.
Only thing I can say is we still have the only undefeated season ever in the NFL.
Yeah, there you go. That's something to hold on to, I guess.
52 years ago.
Yeah, there you go. Well, yeah, my Cowboys aren't much to talk about this year. I went to 2 games, and, we lose our, Dak Prescott goes out with a leg injury. He's had surgery. He won't be back till next year. We lost one of our defensive line, or one of our best defensive players for the year. He may not even be back next year, but his injuries were so bad. We were down to about nobody left on defense. And in fantasy football, my last week of the playoffs, I got hit pretty hard because I had CeeDee Lamb, which is Dallas's number 1 receiver. They sat him the last week of the second to last week because he had a shoulder injury, and they're like, well, we have no playoff implications. We're going to sit him. So I didn't get him.
So Dallas is out.
So Dallas has been out. Yeah, they've been out a while. They've been out a while. They never had a chance. And then Chuba Hubbard, which is the running back for the Carolina Panthers, they sat him the last week of my playoffs when he had been killing it for me all year. And he went on injured reserve IR with a foot injury, and so I couldn't start him in my fantasy league. I was like, well, that's 2 of my best players literally the week of the championship. And I had lost like 1 game all year, and number 1 seed, and then lose to the 6th seed in the I'm like, good Lord, man. I was like, yeah, fantasy football makes me want to pull my hair out. I enjoy it, and then I don't when all that happens. But anyway, the NFL playoff picture's starting to really shape up. There's a couple implications. I mean, you've got the Chiefs who are just dominating. They've already
Bills
clinched.
not ahead of. I thought the Bills were ahead of them.
The Bills are a 2 seed right now. They're 13-3. Okay. Chiefs are 15-1.
Oh, okay. But
so they've clinched. Yeah. But the Chiefs have clinched the number 1 seed. Bills 2, Ravens 3, Texans are 4 right now. You got the Steelers and Chargers at 5 and 6. You got a couple teams on the. Actually, there's a couple things that could play out that would actually get the Dolphins in the playoffs. It probably won't happen in the AFC for them, but it's really going to. I mean, it's going to come down to. I mean, the powerhouses in the AFC. You got the Chiefs, Bills, Ravens, the Texans, and the Steelers. I don't think can hang when it really comes down to it. I'd like to see the Ravens do it. I think they've got a good squad. I'm tired of seeing the Chiefs.
Good.
They're solid.
I hope the Chiefs lose the first round.
Yeah.
I'm
tired of them.
Done with them.
I'm tired of the Chiefs. I'm tired of hearing about them. Now, the NFC, not as strong as the AFC, but I will tell you, the Lions.
The Lions look. One time I saw them play, they looked unstoppable.
Especially
with their coach, it doesn't scare. He's not scared to do anything.
That man's a beast. That man is.
I watched the one game. I guess I've watched a couple games because one game I watched, he had 4th down.
Yeah, he doesn't care. He'll go for it every time.
And it was like if he had
Dan Campbell, right? That's his name. I think it's Dan Campbell.
If he had not made the 4th down, then the other team had a chance to win. I can't remember who it was. Was it the Green Bay Packers?
It was like 2 or 3 weeks ago. It wasn't long ago.
Packers,
I think it was the Packers. and he just went for it. He said, let's go ahead and win this game right now. Yep. So, you got the Lions and Eagles in 1st and 2nd NFC. The Rams are right there with them. The Vikings, surprisingly, have had a great season. And then you got the Commanders, who I hate, and the Packers, who I hate. They always take us out of the playoffs. The Packers, they always eliminate us from the playoffs. But none of them can really hang. The Vikings, they're a 5 seed. They're 14-2. I just don't see Sam Darnold taking them to the Super Bowl. I really think the Lions win it all this year, if I'm being honest right now.
Really? Okay.
I hate the Eagles. I hope they don't go far. The Commanders, I hope they don't go far.
I am surrounded by Eagles at work.
Oh, that's the worst. They're the worst. They are the as fans, they have one of the worst fan bases as far as just mean people. Now, I know not all of them. I'm not saying the people you work with, but go to Philly and talk to some of them. Whew, those are some rough people. They are no joke about those Eagles. So yeah, not a fan. So if I had to predict right now, I'm going to say it's probably Lions-Ravens Super Bowl. Lions win. But I know you don't watch a lot of NFL, but it should be an interesting playoff for the NFL. There's some really solid teams playing, so I'm excited to see some of those games as well.
How many get in? 12 or 14?
It's let's see. Well, you got 12. 12. It's a 12-man playoff. Yeah. So
right now the bottom are, well, I guess it's kind of hard to. Packers and Chargers are the bottom.
The Chargers and Steelers are in the AFC are the ones, but yeah. So the Chargers would be the 6th seed in the AFC, and your Packers right now are the 6th seed in the NFC. Yeah.
I'm looking at I'm looking at NFL. It's got Packers 7. I don't understand why.
Because the Buccaneers are in the hunt. If they win, I think their next game they'll take the 4th seed.
Oh, they'll take the 4th seed. I see what it's doing now. Okay.
Yeah.
So the Buccaneers, who are they playing? New Orleans,
which they should be able to beat. New Orleans. Buccaneers. And New Orleans are pretty hurt right now.
First NFC South. Well, if they're first in NFC South, why aren't they in there already?
Usually if you win your division, you're in. I don't know what there's got to be some kind of stat that calls that to happen. That is a good question. If they lose 31% of the probability current, if they win this game, they're 99%. Well, they must be tied for first, or there's a team close to them in the NFC South. You've got the Falcons. That's why. If they lost, they'd both be 8-8. And the Falcons could keep them out of the playoffs, I guess, because if they tied for the division, I think the tiebreaker would put the Falcons above them. But I don't know why they wouldn't.
Put the Falcons into the playoffs then, wouldn't it?
If there's a tiebreaker where they have the same record, maybe because the Packers are 11-5, there's got to be some ruling that puts them ahead of it somehow. I don't know those. I don't know. You don't typically see this happen, so I'm not quite sure what's going to cause that to happen. If the Bucks win, it won't matter. They're going to be in, and they'll win their division and be in, which there's a good chance that they do win. Yeah,
unless something
happens with the
Commanders are 11-5 each.
Yeah, because the Commanders are second in their division, behind the Eagles. So they are not winning their division. So I think the Commanders could be pushed out, which would be great. I hate them.
With you, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
And they're playing Dallas, so Dallas can knock them out too, I guess.
Yeah.
If Dallas can beat them.
Yeah, I mean, we're starting our second string, and our whole half of our players are out with injury, and we're not starting our receiver, and everybody's on IR. We'll see if I probably won't even watch that game. It'll be too rough to watch. But anyway, so yeah, I don't have anything to look forward to in sports right now until next year. Well, I do have college basketball going, until to hold me over.
Are you sure it's just 12 teams and not?
It should
14?
Be. I don't think it's 14. I think it's 12.
Because up here it says, what I'm looking at, it says there's one available playoff spot left, and it's only showing.
It might be because it says the Broncos are in the hunt right now as the 7. So maybe there are 7. Maybe 14 go. I can't remember.
That looks what it looks like. It looks like the Buccaneers and Broncos are in right now. If they were
right,
if season ended, these would make the playoffs. Okay, that makes sense. That the NFC South
so there's 14.
Is not showing up. Yeah. Okay, so there's 7 teams out of each one. Yeah. So Buccaneers, so the Dolphins, Bengals, and Falcons. For this last day of the season, though,
that would explain why the Falcons are on the bubble and the Bucks are in the hunt. Because if they would,
because even if they win, it says 15%.
Yeah, that makes sense. So
Falcons have to win and Buccaneers have to lose.
Yeah, which none of those teams really. Like I said, it's the Lions, the Ravens, and the Chiefs. I don't think the Bills are going to pull it off this year. Those are the teams to watch: Lions, Chiefs, Ravens. I think that's the 3 powerhouses that have a chance to actually pull everything off. So, my money's on the Lions. I wouldn't be upset if the Ravens won it. I don't really care to see the Bills win it, and I definitely don't care to see the Chiefs win it again. I don't want to go to the Taylor Swift Bowl. So,
I know, really.
I've had enough of that.
Have they cut that showing her every game?
No, they still show her every game she's there.
It's about time for her to break up anyway. She needs to write songs about him.
I was ready to say, she needs a new album. It's about time for them to break up.
Have you seen that comedian that makes fun of the Taylor Swift?
No, but a lot of them do. So I'm sure I've seen somebody.
He said it's how do you put it? This is a great great idea for Taylor Swift. And I was like, because you can hear that half of the people are upset at him, half are happy.
Yep.
It's like, think about it. You know, Taylor Swift goes to football games. More people get interested in football.
Yep.
So they go out and they play football. So there's more head injuries. So you have more Taylor Swift fans.
Not because of the head injuries. That's hilarious. I mean, that's accurate. That's accurate. That is too funny, man. Yeah, I am not a. I mean, I listen. She makes a lot of money. She's got a lot of fans. Good for her. I'm not hating on her, but I'm just not a. It's not for me.
She just, to me, sold out her roots. I mean,
yeah.
She got in Nashville. It was a very unique story how she broke in to without the big help, almost like the guy out of where's he from? Virginia. What's his name? The guy who wrote
that Orlando. His name like Orlando. It starts with an O. His name starts with an O. Oliver Anthony.
Oliver Anthony Music, and that's not his name. His name is Tony, not Tony, something else. Anyway, and that was his grandfather's name or something. That's what his music company's called.
Yeah,
I don't know if you followed him. Know much
I
about
didn't
him.
follow him closely. He was on one of the. I think he was on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah, he was on Rogan's.
Yeah.
That was after everything hit big.
Yeah.
And a lot of people were like, "See, he just fizzled." He ain't fizzled.
Yeah.
He's set for life.
Yeah.
I still follow him.
Yeah.
He goes and does what he wants to do when he wants to do it.
Yeah.
He's still playing venues, sold out venues.
He just performed.
He went
for one of the college games the other day or something. He was like in a coal mine performing,
probably,
like in an actual coal mine. It was pretty cool.
He went to Europe and did a tour over there because he wanted to. He literally has no chains on him. He can do anything he wants when he wants.
That's the nice thing about being independent.
And he didn't change his lifestyle. I think he finally bought a new truck because he had like a Suburban that was on its last legs, and he still was driving it everywhere he was going. Yeah. And he literally has written his own ticket. And it's in Nashville.
That's the way to do it.
Nashville's sweating because God, hope nobody else does this.
Right. Yeah. No, they got to get that money.
He doesn't have the biggest following as he did, obviously, but he's comfortable and he's happy.
I love
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's
still
wrong
living
with that.
on a farm. Still, he's starting all these charitable stuff and all.
Yeah,
and
I love it.
So
it's good stuff. That's good stuff. Is. Yeah.
So we got a few. When is the Super Bowl? February?
It's probably February 7th, 8th, somewhere in there if I had to guess. It's usually that first week of February between like the 5th and the 9th, somewhere in there. I don't know the exact date, but it should be a good Super Bowl. I think these playoffs are going to be good. I'm excited to see the rest of the college playoffs. I think there's going to be some solid games there. I'm really excited to see what the Lions can do. My money's on, like I said, Ravens, Lions, Super Bowl is my pick. I hope I'm right on that, and we'll see how it plays out. But there should be some fun football to watch coming up.
Sounds good.
All right, we'll wrap this up, and we'll see you guys next time.
All right, see you next week.
All right. When life gets unpredictable, turn to a partner you can trust. At Bobby Clary State Farm, we've got you covered. Whether it's home, auto, or life insurance, we're dedicated to providing personalized coverage that fits your needs. With our friendly and knowledgeable team, navigating your insurance options have never been easier. Visit BobbyClary.com or call 843-438-6000. Bobby Clary State Farm, here to help life go right. Thanks for listening to the Dollars and Cents Podcast with Jonathan the Conspiracy Theorist and Wes the Economist. Don't forget to send us your topics and give us feedback at dollarscentsgs@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram and X at dollarscentsgs. You can follow us on Facebook at Dollars and Cents. Listen to us on the podcast format at Dollars and Cents Podcast, and you can also find us on YouTube at the Dollars and Cents Podcast. Are you looking to buy a home in North or South Carolina? You need to reach out to Wave Beach Realty today. We are a family-owned company with over 10 years of experience in North and South Carolina and operate along the Grand Strand. Give us a call today at 843-957-3872. That's 843-957-3872.
Happy New Year, and as we get the year started, let's get your financial picture in focus by getting a budget and getting those spending habits looked at. Reach out to me at coachwestc@gmail.com, and we'll get you off to a good start.